Hi, this is Dr. Jason Epstein, and welcome to the My Pets Wellness Weekly Wellness Podcast. Kevin is unfortunately not able to be here this week. He's taken some time off to be with family. So I will be talking to you guys this week about wellness resources and things that every vet and vet tech should know exist. It's really important that we all know where we can reach out for help. It's really important that we all feel comfortable reaching out for help. So we put together the list of top 5 resources everyone should know about. And I'll just go through them with you guys. So first up is the AVMA. They are a great place to go for resources for yourself, for your team. So whether you're needing to work with a culture that overall needs help with well-being, you want to give something back to your teammates, or you personally need something, they have a great list of resources. They have things they've created on their own, as well as places that you or your teammates can go to find the help that you need. Whether we're struggling with burnout, whether we're struggling with compassion fatigue, whether we're struggling with filling the tank back up by the next day. You know, that's one of the things that I've struggled the most with in my career, is the idea of resilience, is the idea of, I had a miserable spay. I had a owner that just tore into me for no reason, and having to go home, empty the tank, fill it back up, and start again the next day. So resources that are going to help you with that are invaluable. And it's important to know that it's okay to look for them, have them at your fingertips, and ways to help get through those experiences, because we all have them. Second on the list is the organization Not One More Vet, or NOMV.org. They are a phenomenal group that have put together a platform that is not just a crisis resource, but also they've created a pretty amazing community on Facebook that veterinarians and technicians alike have a very safe space that is tightly regulated by their administrators. That way we ensure that there's a safe space to comment, to share a story, to ask for help. And it's not inundated with advertisements and job requests and anything that crosses the line. You know, inappropriate behavior and comments aren't tolerated. So it's really almost like a support group message board. It's a really great place when someone wants to remain anonymous and just get support. They can post on your behalf. And it's also a great place for those of us that have been through this to give that feedback, to give the, hey, I've been there, this worked for me, or I've been there, that sucked, I hate that you're going through it, but you're gonna come out better for it. And so the community they've built has been one that I've really enjoyed being a part of. I encourage everyone that has access to Facebook to join and become part of that community. And then for those of us that really have those days where you're absolutely hitting rock bottom, it's not just a place to post and say, I'm hitting rock bottom. They have those crisis resources, the hotlines and things on both their website and easily accessible in their group resources. So I've been very fortunate to not struggle with some of the more intense mental health things that some of us do. And seeing what some of my colleagues out there are going through, reading a post from someone that says, I was on a hike today and saw a bridge nearby and I stopped for an hour to stare at it and think about jumping off. The reality of that is, it's important to remember, because it reminds me to take care of myself and not allow the career to get me to that point, and know that it also motivates me to create platforms like the one we're building here with our wellness podcast and the other things we do to help doctors, technicians, anyone out there that is getting close to that point. So I love them. I wish everyone would support them and become a part of that culture that they're building. So they're number 2. Okay, so the third resource that I want everyone to know about is through the University of Tennessee. It's their veterinary social work program. And so a lot of us are very familiar, especially I'm in the South. I've always been familiar with their client-facing resources. the ability to send clients to them for their grief hotline and those sorts of things. But they've done a really great job of building out a platform for us as veterinarians when we need help. There are office hours, there's regularly scheduled time that their social workers are available. So again, not everyone wants to call someone they know. Not everyone wants to post publicly or anonymously, words are hard, on Facebook. Not everyone wants to just watch a webinar. So having a unbiased person that doesn't know you, that you're available to call out of the blue, that's experienced in this area, I'm going to put that on the list of invaluable things too. We should all build different ways that we can reach out for help, because it shouldn't always be our significant other or our person in our life. It can't always be our coworker to reach out to talk to. A lot of times it needs to be some other resource. And those of us that are talkers, it's good to have a person on the other end of that phone, and other end of that line that understands what it's like being in the veterinary field. So I urge everyone to go and view their website, look at what resources they have, bookmark pages. And again, it's just about building your database of where you can turn when you need it. To me, it's very similar to when I'm in practice. I definitely don't know all the answers to everything, but I try to always know where I need to look to get the answers. When a patient comes in with problem A and I've never seen anything like this, I should at least immediately know what resources I have and where I go to get that answer. And so we should all take care of ourselves the same way. I think it's important that, I feel I'm having we all can sense when we're having bad days. And know, this is my set of resources. I can go here, I can watch this, I can call this number. It's about building yourself a complete tool so you can take care of yourself when you need it. Okay, so the fourth thing that I want everyone to be aware of is the Zoetis Commitment to Veterinarians initiative. So they have decided to really invest in the mental health and wellness of us as veterinarians, to make sure there is a lot more awareness, and to help take away the stigma of mental health, especially in the vet field. We tend to be a type, we veterinarians, vet techs, that feel like we can do it all, that we're part superhero, that we don't need help, especially in that aspect. And so knowing that there's a company out there that is doing this for lack of profit, is powerful to me. Their company should be out there making stuff and selling stuff, and they're putting effort and energy into taking care of us as a group, which is really great in my opinion. They've got their Pause and Reflect podcast that's more leadership, but also well-being and development. They have the Vet Dance series, which if you're not familiar with it, I've really enjoyed it. It's a compilation of vets and vet techs kind of just sharing their stories and experiences of what they've been through. And it's a great resource in the sense of, I've been there too. This is what I've gone through, and we've all been there and done that. And so hearing those stories, listening to their podcasts and webinars that focus on mental health and well-being, and taking advantage of everything they have to offer and everything they've built, I would highly encourage everyone to look into. It's all free for all of us as vets, and it's just really good to see that it's not a nonprofit, it's not the AVMA, it's someone else out there in the industry that's putting their money where their mouth is and trying to help us. And it's a good resource. It really should be part of your toolkit of things that you can do proactively and reactively when you need to be reminded of what's important, you need to be grounded, and you need a little refresher course on taking care of yourself. Okay, so number 5 is going to be a little self-plug here. So number 5 is I believe is the DVMsupport network that we're building here at My Pets Wellness. So we've got our AVMA, we have NOMV, we have the resources at UT, we have Zoetis, and I'd like to think that we round out that list. The DVM Support Network is a special passion of mine. It's a project that I've been really excited to work with our team on and make this more than just here's one event or here's one little thing. I want this to be something that as a company really defines us. And so what the DVM Support Network is at its core is it is a compilation of resources for veterinarians and veterinary technicians that will help both mental and professional wellness and help you grow as a person, as a doctor. The things that I'm most proud of, we have our CE channel that is great. We're trying to get a speaker once a week or more. Hopefully one day we'll have it up that often to where we can offer CE for anyone, anywhere, anytime. The things that are more relevant to what we're talking about here is this podcast, some of the episodes with Kevin and Dr. Rodney, the things that they've been able to delve into, really focusing on our well-being and burnout and compassion fatigue and the things that drive us to those points. Having someone that's not just a DVM, having someone like Dr. Rodney, who's been in the mental health field, working in inpatient and outpatient counseling centers for decades. He's a great resource and honestly become a good friend. So we're lucky to have him on our team, and I feel like anyone who's able to absorb his knowledge, you should definitely take advantage of it. And then the third thing on this platform that we do are wellness rounds. We started calling it a support group. We've called it wellness rounds. Doesn't matter what you want to title it. We meet every Thursday at 7:00 Central, and it's an hour set aside for vets and vet techs and anyone in the industry that needs to just talk amongst peers. Dr. Rodney's there to ensure that we not only stay on topic, but to help make sure this maintains a safe space, that it operates in a support group style, with the caveat that if one of the participants has an experience similar and they've implemented something that has helped them to improve, then in that case, these sort of suggestions and offerings, we encourage. Your traditional support group settings, it's purely a place to open up and talk. Any sort of advice or feedback is really discouraged in those traditional environments. And so we definitely don't encourage have you tried this? Have you tried that? What about? That's not helpful. But I've been there. I've done that. This worked for me. Those stories can be really powerful. And so we do encourage those sorts of experiences to be shared during these talks. And I've been on every week. We've had weeks where we talk about the entertaining COVID clients that have come up. With an ER doctor in Colorado, we've talked about the challenges of we had a conversation about owners that came in extremely intoxicated, and how do you handle that? And how do you what do you do? Do you we've all had it, but when it's your first time encountering it, it can be uncomfortable. It can be a weird experience. People can say things that they shouldn't be saying to you. So it's a safe space to talk about just about any topic. And I'm really proud of it. I hope it grows to something really special. I hope that after COVID, this becomes something that we meet in person in all these cities, and it can become a safe organization, a safe network of places where we can talk amongst ourselves freely and free of judgment from other doctors, from other techs, out of the eye of clients. And with someone like Dr. Rodney around, it's been really great. So I obviously could talk about this all day. It's my passion here. We have spent a lot of time building out our wellness rounds, our podcast, our CE, and now we're also developing our mentorship, resiliency coaching, kind of our quarterly professional development programs as well, that we're really excited to round out are offering on this MPW support, this DVM support network. So I hope that this can become one of the tools in your tool belt, whether you're a doctor on our team or not. Everyone has equal access to these programs. And so I hope that these 5 tools can become part of your go-tos. I know that not a day goes by that I don't scroll through the Not One More Vet on my Facebook app. There's not a day that I don't obviously have something to do with our operations here. And every week I'm part of our group. So, it's all about finding your outlet and allowing yourself to seek help. Even if you don't think you've got a problem, being proactive with mental health will pay dividends exponentially down the road. I was in a place where I should have done this a long time ago. And whether it was individual counseling or group sessions or coming to our support group or just reading books and podcasts, taking care of yourself is extremely important. And it is always okay. Whether you're going to a superior at work and to your boss and saying like, I'm not okay, I need help. And if they're not listening, find someone that does, because we all need it, and we all need someone to listen and help us find where we're going. And if you don't have anyone to listen, find me. I'll listen. I like to talk, obviously. And I will help you get the resources you need. That's part of what we want to do here at My Pets Wellness. We can't give everyone in the country free counseling, free this, free that, but we can help guide you to the right resource. That's what this podcast episode is about. That's one of the missions of this organization. And so the links to all of these groups are going to be below this video. And if you have any questions or want to learn any more about My Pets Wellness, about the DVM support network, or what we're doing, where we're headed, I'd love to talk and follow up with any of you. You can get in touch with us at mypetswellness.net. And again, this has been the Weekly Wellness Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.